Edith, I can see Edith is still muted, or rather her video is off. Naomi, you are, let me just do the preps before I talk. Hi, good people. I can see we've got Charity, Cindy, welcome, Judy, welcome, Grace, welcome, Margaret, Mercy, welcome, people. We're just giving our sign language interpreter 1 second to join us, and then we will just begin. Welcome. All right. So Naomi, we're gonna go live in 2, 3, 1. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going live on Facebook. So it's setting up. Fantastic, and we are live. So good evening, everyone. My name is Jackie Mathaga, and it is another exciting evening of learning. We've been bringing you, I guess, webinars that teach us how to do different things this entire week. And this evening, we are on homeschooling. I am excited this evening because of what it is that we're going to learn. I don't know whether you're like me, whether you've been pulling your hair and trying to figure out what to do with your special needs kid. You're not a teacher, you're not cut out to be a teacher, but your child has to continue learning. So this evening I'm excited because I have a long-term friend. Yes, she's known me, I think, from when my son got diagnosed, so she knows the drama of that, which, by the way, speaking of drama, is covered in this book. So let me do a plug for myself because, you know, I've got to do what I have to do. So my name is Jackie Mathaga. I am an author, amongst other things. And the book that I have written is called Raise Him Up. And it is my 14-year journey with my son, the ups and downs of it. And one of the chapters actually covers schooling and our attempts at homeschooling and how his schooling has been. So he's 14 right now. So if you're just starting out with on your journey with your child with disability, would you consider buying this book? So it's available in Kenya for 1,200 and then on Amazon, and you can find it on print or as an e-copy. So now that we're done with that, let me introduce my exciting panel. I've got 2 people with me tonight. I've got Naomi Kiemo. Naomi, just wave. So Naomi's going to introduce herself. But before we hand over the evening to Naomi, because she's the one who's going to be speaking, I want to introduce Edith Njogu. Edith is a sign language interpreter. And you know we want to include our sisters, our brothers, our children who have communication difficulties or who have hearing impairments. We want all of us to be included. And sign language is also such an important communication style for nonverbal autistic kids or any other kid who cannot, doesn't have speech, doesn't have words. So sign language forms a part of how we communicate a lot. So it's good to have you, Edith. Karibu sana, welcome. So 3 announcements. The first one is, we did say in our poster that we have giveaways. Some of those giveaways are going to be learning tools that Naomi is going to be sharing with us. So we're going to get like an opportunity to do 1 or 2 giveaways from Naomi's end. But then here's the thing. If you actually registered and are attending this webinar, so as Naomi is teaching, I'm going to be very busy taking down people's names because you have an opportunity to win 1 of 3 copies of Raise Him Up. So during the webinar, for those who have come and registered on the webinar, I'm going to be giving away this. So all I'm doing is taking down as long as you're an attendee, right now I see we are up to 19. I saw a bigger registration list. I'm going to be giving away 1 of these 3 copies. So I don't know whether our sponsor wants to mention who they are. I will ask them, and then maybe we can recognize that they are the donor of the book because it's courtesy of someone. And we want to just say we are very grateful to this someone for donating, which is the other thing, that if you're watching this video now or will watch it later, that's the other thing you can do to support a special needs parent. Get in touch with me and we will pay for the book and we will figure out how it can get to a parent you want it to get to. So without further ado, Naomi, This is your class.
Hey.
Yes, for our attendees, please make use of the chat section and the Q&A section for all your questions. We're going to be making sure that that we answer them. So I'm going to be looking at those questions just to make sure that Naomi does not leave out anything. There's also a section for lifting up the hand. Let's not lift up our hand all the time because we want Naomi to be able to teach. So if you lift up your hand, I would rather you even ask the question via the Q&A section or the chat section so that we can get Naomi to answer those. Without further ado, Naomi, karibu sana. This is your class.
Hey, Naomi Nyambura here. Most people know me as Mama Kiemo. I have a son who is autistic and he's 11 years old. He's kind of verbal, he's a fun boy, and we homeschool him. So part of my passion of teaching kids with special needs is just the experience that I go through with my son. Also, I'm a special needs teacher by training. I do lots of home-based therapies, mostly for kids who are non-verbal, who have behavior challenges, who have delays in different milestones, learning disabilities. So I mix up everything. During this talk, I'll use my son mostly as an example and a few kids that I teach. And I'll be by mistake talking a lot about autism, but it means everything I'll talk about will cover everything, whether it's learning disabilities or it's CP or it's dyslexia. Anything I teach here can be used through all special needs cases that we have. So most of my lessons are usually fun. And I believe in parents being able to teach their kids at home. It doesn't matter whether you're trained or you're not. It's just for you having a passion to see changes in your child, especially communication and academics. So I'm going to talk a lot about academics today and communication. And by communication, I don't mean speech therapy. I just mean a child being able to talk to you, not to talk, being able to tell you that I need something has been done to me, I want to go somewhere. So just being able to communicate with your child. So I'm going to talk about 5 subtopics of what I usually teach. So there's the attending skills. So you as a parent, you want to start teaching your child. You need to try to make your child attend to you. Attending skills is where the child sits down and is in front of you and is attending to you. When it comes to kids with autism, this is very difficult because there's hyperactivity, there's inattention. So you need to first have the child sit down and do something for you. Oh, water first. And how you do this is to get your child, just bring interesting things in front of your child and let the child sit for a few minutes and then leave, sit for a few minutes and then leave. So when it comes to attending skills, and I'm talking about now parents teaching at home, don't have the mentality you're going to teach for more than 10 minutes initially, your child. It is going to be difficult. So start small. Even if it takes like 3 minutes, you do something which I'll talk about later, what you're going to do in those 3 minutes, and then let the child go. Then bring the child back after a little break, do more 3 minutes, and then let the child go. So that's how you're going to bring in the attending skills. I usually tell parents to teach imitation skills a lot. Imitation is where I do and the child does. It's where I say, do this, and the child does that. The reason why imitation skills is important is because when you have babies, when they say da, 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 and the parents say da, 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 you teach the child to be able to imitate you. So imitation skills is very important when it comes to communication and when it comes to learning in class or doing any academic work. So if I'm talking, a child listens to what I'm saying and imitates. So we need to teach our kids with special needs to imitate so that they're able to get the skills to communicate. We need to teach them to imitate so that they get the skills to start writing or start cutting or start playing, because kids play through imitating other kids. Kids with special needs are not able to do the imitation. It's not automatic. They don't observe and see other kids playing and they imitate. They don't listen to other people talking and they imitate. So we need to teach the imitation skills. I'll come to the imitation skills later on how to do it. Then there is the receptive skills. So when it comes to receptive skills is what the child following one step instruction, like came or come, came or go, came or give me, came or sit down. So that is the imitation skills we are talking about. And everybody has disappeared. I don't know if we are together or people can hear me. But anyway, let me continue. So when it comes to imitation, now that's the following instructions. Identifying body parts. Jackie, we okay? Okay, identifying body parts. This we are talking about receptive skills. So you teach a child to follow one-step instruction. You teach a child to identify body parts, identify pictures. When you show a picture, identify objects. Like I'd say, what is this? And the child says, listens to what you're saying and says, scissors. You teach objects by function. So like, what is a scissors for? And then the child tells you for cutting. So those are receptive skills. The child able to listen to you and to respond to what you're saying. Expressive skills, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth one is where a child is able to tell you what they want, to show you what they want. I'm using tell and show because some kids are nonverbal, so they can show you what they want without using the words. To request what they want, verbally or non-verbally. To label objects by functions, all those things that I said with the receptive skills. Now it's expressive, the child expressing himself, not listening, expressing himself. The other thing I look at is academic skills. So academic, most of it is matching objects for the little kids from around 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and going forward. There's matching of objects to pictures. So like I have a picture of a cup, I match it with a cup object. Matching pictures to pictures. I have a picture of a cup, I match it with another picture of a cup. Matching colors. I have a picture of purple, I match it with purple. I have a color purple, can you put a purple cup on top of the color purple, things like that. Matching numbers, put all the number ones here, put all the number twos here, put all the number threes here. Shapes, squares, stars, all that, letters. So all that is under academic skills. The academic skills I've started with the basics, the pre-academic skills, the matching of objects and all that. But it goes all the way to number value, number recognition, alphabet value, alphabet recognition, sorry, 3-letter words, phonics, according to the curriculum that you're using. So you start from pre-academic skills, which is matching of number to number, alphabet to alphabet, all the way to where you're starting to teach your child to read, or you're starting to teach your child to write sentences or things like that. So, and then there's the activities of daily living. Those are self-help skills. So that is eating, toileting, dressing, brushing, as in hygiene and all that. So those are the things that I usually look at when I start teaching, when I say now we start teaching our kids. So I'm going to go back to it again. Attending skills, a child sits down. Imitation skills, to imitate what we say and what we do. Receptive skills, listens to you and acts accordingly. Expressive skills, tells you what he or she wants. Academic skills, these are pre-academic skills, that is matching of stuff, tracing of numbers, of alphabets, coloring, those are the pre-academic skills. And then there's activities of daily living, and that is the things we usually do, kawaida things in the house. So now, how to teach at home? We need to have a plan. You don't just wake up and you're like, I'm going to start teaching my son. Naomi talked about this. We are ready to start. You're going to be disappointed because you need to plan. With our kids, you can't just start, how do I say? You can't just start saying, I have this textbook, I have maths, ECD, PP1 mathematics, come here, my son, come to Some. It's not gonna work because it's going to take 1 second for your child to look at what you're showing him, which is an apple that he's supposed to color and say A for apple, and then the lesson is done. He'll even do weird things and then leave, and the lesson is done. And then you wonder, what am I going to do next? So with special needs, you have to plan how to do the sessions. So the first thing, have a plan. Yeah. Have plan A, B, C, D up to Z, because what happens is you can plan today, let's say I decide I'm going to teach Kemo to association, association. That is where you have, you say scissors is for cutting. No, that's not association. Association is where something goes with another, like a pillow goes on bed, like a bat goes with the ball, a spoon goes with a plate, or a spoon goes with a cup, or a kettle goes with a cup to take milk. So they're associating. So if I decide I'm going to teach Kemo that, and I come with my piece of worksheet, and I'm like, let me teach Kemo association, he will just do matching quickly, and that is done, and the lesson is done, and that's within seconds. So and then maybe he decides that day he doesn't want to do association. So you need to have plan B, plan C, all the way, because what you plan might not be what happens during that lesson. Your child might be moody, might be, doesn't feel like doing what you're doing. Actually, what you're teaching is difficult, so you have the child refusing to work with you. So you need to plan what you're going to do. Akikataa he, what am I going to bring to the table? See, akikataa, he runs away. What will happen? The next time you say, now let's start learning, he refuses and runs away. He'll come to know, once I refuse and run away, mommy leaves me alone. So you need to have plan A. So let's say my plan A is this paper, and then he refuses. I'm going to have a plan B, which will be something like this. I'm going to talk about something else. So I'm bringing something more interesting than what I was showing him before, so that I can still get his attention to where he is. So remember, plan. Then gather your resources. One of the mistakes most people do is that you want to teach ABC, and then you've forgotten where something was, and then you remember, yeah, I should teach this with this. I should do this with this. You have to plan and then come with your resources, put them there, whereby you're bringing one thing at a time, So let's say you're teaching letters. So if you're teaching letters, you can bring a whiteboard and your whiteboard marker put next to you. You can have your magnetic alphabets put next to you. You can have your coloring alphabet worksheet put next to you. You can have your modeling clay, which you're going to roll and make alphabets, put it next to you. So you have all these resources, and we're going to talk about resources later with you for this one lesson you're teaching about alphabets. Okay, so gather your resources, have them with you. The next thing is have a designated room or corner to do the work that you're going to do. So my work usually is on the carpet all the time. I rarely sit on a table or on the table and tell the child, let's work on the table. It's usually floor time on the carpet. So what happens is, if I have a client who is autistic and has a tendency to run away, I place my designated area to be a corner like this. I don't know if this, so a corner like this. So the child sits at the corner and I'm seated opposite to the child. So I've locked the child at the corner there. It is not by force, it's just I'm reducing chances of him running away from me and not seeing these amazing things I want to teach him. So you need to have one corner, and then you have a nice mat over there, and then that's why you always do your classes. So the thing with kids with special needs, they like routine. So when they learn that that's the corner, mommy, if I see mommy going to that corner, it's time to learn. It gets into their heads, into their brains, and they know that corner is a corner to learn. And then make the room quiet. If you're going to do in the living room, TV should be off, radio should be off, house girl not passing in and out all the time, other kids to go to other rooms and stay there. And this 10 minutes, only you is supposed to be with there with the child. So you can't say you're going to do a session and the TV is on. The child is going to be distracted. You can't do a session and the siblings are coming to see what you're doing and interacting your work. So you need to have a quiet room, a designated place, which will always be the place where you're working at. Now, the resources that you decide you're going to use, let them always be in a locked place where nobody has access. Okay, let me give an example. So I have flashcards. I have flashcards like this. So this is tree, and I'm like, tree, I teach tree, and then I come, I teach net, something like that. And then these flashcards, I just leave them on the table. What happens? Your child will come, look at them, tear them, anazishiba, for lack of another word, has had enough of them. Or let's give an example. I have this fun toy that I'm going to teach farm animals with. So I've learned with my child, it's a fun toy teaching animals, and it has all my McDonald's and all that. So once I'm done with it, I just let it be where the child is. This child is going to use that toy, and that toy is going to be boring. This child is going to use this, oh shush. This child is going to use these flashcards, and they're going to be boring for them. So make for it to be exciting, put away the things that you use in class. If you just leave them around and then sure you come and you like sit down and learn, and it's what he's been doing, seeing a whole day, he's not interested in it. So keep away things that are supposed to be for class and let them be for class only, especially the fun toys. The other thing is have a reinforcement. I love reinforcement. So reinforcement is what you reward a child for doing something for you. Like if I ask Kiemo, write for me, no, I'll use a child who is not at Kiemo's age level. So let's say I have this number 1, and I want a child to join the dots for me. So I would let the child join the dots for me, that is number 1. And if the child loves popcorn, I give 1 popcorn. It's a reward. What happens next is that the next time I want him to write this for me, he's going to do it very fast and very well because he's going to get a reward for it. So reinforcement is important. I want you to go Google about reinforcement. There's a lot about reinforcement, and it will take an hour to talk about reinforcement. But all the kids I teach, all the kids I do therapy for, even Kemo with his teacher, they have reinforcement. For Kemo, reinforcement is Skittles and laptop later, or having a phone later. For kids who are very young, it's the best I love is reinforcement that is edible, because that reinforcement, like let's say a popcorn, 1 popcorn. So say I'll go back to my flashcard, and I will be like tree, and the child says tree. Doesn't even have to say it the way it's like, even removes a sound. I give a popcorn. I give the reinforcement, and then I pick another one and say next. I give reinforcement. What happens is the child is more motivated to produce a sound for you for this reinforcement. The thing about reinforcement, as you're going to Google about it later, is that there's a child I work with, and I know the mom is watching. His reinforcement last year was oranges. So we take one orange, cut into tiny little pieces, 20 pieces, because you don't want a reinforcement like an orange, and then you give a quarter and he's eating the quarter for about 3 minutes or 10 minutes eating this orange. So we used to have it into tiny pieces, very tiny like this. So he does something, I give him an orange. With time, right now we're still going on with therapy 1.5 years later. We take the orange after the therapy, not during therapy, because we faded away the therapy. So if you decide it's an apple, cut into tiny little pieces, because you don't want to sort of shield it before Maliza because you're giving a whole orange. Another thing, a reinforcement, you can't say like, my son loves the phone, I'm going to give the phone as a reinforcement. So imagine I'm telling a child to write for me number 2, and then not number 2, like 2 plus 2 equals, and then the child is like 1, 2, 1, 2, counts, and then 4. And I'm like, good job, here, have the phone, So this is what you love most. It's not gonna work because you're not going to get the phone back. And you can't, it's unfair to give your son a phone or your daughter to work with it for like 30 seconds and then you take it back. It doesn't work like that. So edibles are better because they put in the mouth, it disappears. Please Google reinforcement. The reason we go to work is because we get reinforcement for it. If you told me to go to work and I don't get paid, I won't give it 100% because I'm not getting anything out of it. Why don't we reinforce our kids? Why don't we pay our kids to do stuff for us? And it's for their own good because they get to get knowledge, they get to communicate and all that. So reinforcement is important. You'll find somebody say, ajiski kufanya, hebu jaribu kumpatia kakitu kadogo mwanzo ukimaliza hii, nitakupea hii. You'll see how it is going to be done very fast. And it's not going to be easy initially because it will be like you'll be crying for the popcorn or for the orange because I want it right now. But you have to be firm. I only give it to you if you do this. But make sure what you're asking the child to do initially when you're introducing reinforcement is something very little. Don't tell a child to write 1 to 10, I'll give you a piece of cookie. Tell the child to write 1, then give cookie. 2, then give cookie. If you prolong the reinforcement, it won't work. Don't promise a child when you say apple, I'll give you this. And then you decide, apple, what does apple na ball? It won't work. It will be like, mommy lied to me. Last time she said, I said this, and I say, and she said me to say something else, so why work for it? So you have to give reinforcement as promised. And they usually understand. Don't say like, my son won't understand that. They get it. I work with 2-year-olds whom, when I introduce reinforcement, they get it after 2 or 3 therapies. So try to be patient while you're giving reinforcement. Also, when giving reinforcement, if you're working with popcorn, I'm giving popcorn because a lot of kids like popcorn. If you're working with popcorn, what you do is, after the reinforcement, after working with the reinforcement, you don't give the popcorn afterwards. The child, and kids are very right, especially with special needs kids. The child will be like, because at the end of the day, where will she take the popcorn? She'll give it to me to eat per day. So once you're done with therapy age or lesson, just take away the reinforcement to be used next time. If it's something perishable that can rot, throw it away. But don't put it later and give it later. Also, the reinforcement, take it away, not to be given over the weekend, not to be given at supper time. It's just for that therapy time. That's the only way it's going to work. So please Google about reinforcement. The next thing I'm going to talk about is have a schedule or timetable that you're going to follow. It works well if your schedule or timetable is, what do you call it? It's visual. It's something, I don't know if I can Kemo's schedule used to be somewhere here. So I'll do an example of a schedule. So we usually, like, they sing, and then you have a picture of somebody singing, then alphabets, then you have a picture of alphabets, numbers, then you have a picture of numbers, painting. I don't know if it can be seen, then you have a picture of painting. The thing I like about this schedule timetable, your child comes to know what comes next. So if you're done with singing, you can tick the singing. If you're done with alphabet, tick the alphabet. If you're done with numbers, tick the numbers. So this one I will do on a laminated piece of paper, or I'll do on a whiteboard like this. I bought it at House of Leather many years ago, and it's still surviving. So if you have a schedule, it becomes easier for you as a parent to be able to know what am I supposed to do next, such that you, and even the child knows what's supposed to come next, and then in the lesson comes to an end, and then the child goes away. So the thing about kids with special needs, they also want to know, when is this ending? The same way you have a meeting, we have agendas and all that. This is your child's agenda. The schedule, the timetable with pictures. So try to have something like this, which you can use over and over again. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, now I've given you all those do's and do nots. Now I'm going to talk about now actually doing the session. How are you going to time yourself? So I'm still going to use my whiteboard here. Initially, I would like a parent who's never done this before to start with 5 minutes or 10 minutes at most. Don't give yourself, I'm going to do therapy for 1 hour. It's not going to work. Me as a therapist, it's hard for me sometimes to do therapy for 1 if I don't plan well. Start with 10 minutes. Give yourself 10 minutes. Those 10 minutes you do, you can do 10 minutes, give the child a break, 20 minutes break to go down and all that. Come back to another 10 minutes, give the child a break, come back to another 10 minutes. So if you do 10 minutes like every hour, you've done 1 hour of therapy like the whole day, and you will see some progress. So I'll give you an example of how to plan yourself. So the first one thing that I ask somebody to do is music. This is where you sing songs, and this can last 3 minutes or 3 minutes. So the first thing, music. What I usually do is, when
Hey, Naomi, we've been, so one of the comments is that there's a lot of echo, so I don't know whether,
Naomi,
yeah.
your sound is a
Hello?
lot of echo.
So there's a lot of echo on your end. Just try again.
Oh.
Do you have?
Okay. Hello?
Okay, so I can hear. Just continue talking. I'll give you feedback in a minute.
Okay. So the first thing I usually do is sing. So most of the time I have a song. I say, hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? Hello, how are you? How are you this morning? So every time a child hears me singing that song, she knows that it's time for therapy. So have a song that you start with. Then the second, that is music. Sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm, sing Baba Black Sheep, any song that your child likes to sing at this point. That's the first thing you do. The second thing you can do is numbers. Give yourself 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, that's numbers. The third one is, I'm going to say letters, no, not letters, alphabets. Also give yourself 5 minutes. Numbers can be maths, can be, depending on the level of your child, alphabets can be even English, reading, and all that. Alphabets also can be even science, depending on what your child is doing at the level of your child. Number 4, we can do coloring. This one can be 5 minutes, and the coloring now comes back to coloring numbers, coloring alphabet, coloring anything the child wants to do. Let me reduce that to 2 minutes because it's usually very little. Then the fine motor skills. This is cutting, beading, pins, pegs. I'll come back to that later and explain more on how you can do it. That is number 5. Okay, this is like permanent. Number 6, gross motor. This is where you stand up and dance and jump and sing all the jumping songs. You do like a frog. You crawl on the floor. Anything that involves using the whole body, you can do that. And then number 7 is storybook. Now you have a time for storybook. Gross motor can take 5 minutes because it's fun. Storybook can take 5 minutes. So this is 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and 25 minutes. I didn't give this time. This can take 5 minutes. That is like 30 minutes worth of therapy. So not therapy, a session. So when you plan yourself like that, you will be able to have something to do with your child. So if you have, now, this is what you're going to do as your lesson. So if this is all you're going to do, remember we had discussed about planning yourself and putting your resources together. So you put resources for all this, where you are going to just be giving the child, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. So that's how you plan your session. That is 30 minutes worth of like activities, but for you as a beginner, you can reduce almost everything to, music can be 1 minute, numbers can be 2 minutes, because your child is going to have a little bit of resistance to what you're introducing if you haven't been doing therapy before. I'll call it therapy, but it's supposed to be music. It's supposed to be lessons. So I've covered that. So I'm going to go into details about now. Like now, when you come to numbers, so you're singing a song. You sang your songs and you had fun with your songs. And your songs, you're not just singing like Igbo. It's supposed to be fun. So let me say, I start with my song, hello. Oh, it says echo is back. I don't know what had been done before for it to go away. I don't know if everybody can hear me.
There's just a bit of static on your end. I don't know why, but yeah.
I'm in a very empty room. I don't know if that's
Do you have
the
earphones
issue.
with you over there? Because earphones would probably.
Unless you give me like a few minutes to call someone to bring them for me. I'm in Kemo's class. I'm not in the house. So I can let you say something as I make a call to.
Okay, so make a call, mute
I'm
yourself.
Muting myself.
Yes, then come back. Then I will say something. So as Naomi is making that call, I'm very busy trying to put all your names on in a bowl for the book. Remember, I said that we have a raffle that's going to happen, and the raffle is for both the book and some of the learning resources that Naomi is demonstrating use of. So I don't know whether somebody's asking, can you repeat this session of 30 minutes again during the day? Or okay, so if say for example you've missed something that happened before you joined in, this video is available on our Facebook page and it's going to be there on demand. So in case you missed any minute, in case you want to recap, in case you want to listen again, the video is available. If you just go to the ADAT Foundation Facebook page, we're recording this session with Naomi live, so you will be able to at least get that. There was a question that was there before about a child who can't articulate. So for special needs kids, in my experience, having raised a boy who is 14 years old now, you can work with an special education needs teacher or consultant like Naomi is. But if you can afford it, it is always advisable to get a speech therapist if you can afford it. But one of the advantages and one of the reasons why we're doing even this session with Naomi is because I know economically not all of us are able to have access to a speech therapist. The other thing I think for parents to realize is you do need to have more than one way to communicate with your child if your child is struggling with speech. And I know especially for parents of kids with autism, we want our kids to speak. And so, but empowering your child to communicate is actually a better strategy. And Naomi is back so that I don't say too many things that are outside of this. Oh, I give you a few more minutes, fine. So yes, so communication is more than just the words we say. It is sign language, like Edith has been struggling to connect and do sign language interpretation. But even sign language is useful, is a useful communication tool. We also have something we call picture exchange communication, which is where your child shows you a picture of the thing that they want so that you can then respond to that. And picture PECs can also go onto assistive devices on a tablet or a phone or a computer, which expands your child's vocabulary. So Naomi, are you ready? This wasn't my session, so I wasn't ready to speak. So I don't know whether anybody has a question that that needs answering out of there, even as Naomi plugs in her earphones. There was a question, I think, earlier also about occupational therapy and a child with cerebral palsy. My advice always is that, especially for children who have diverse needs, that you do need to get advice from your doctor on whether your child can be able to tolerate occupational therapy, especially if it will involve body compresses, like, like massages that, so that you don't injure, your child doesn't get injured. So check with your doctor, make sure your doctor gives the go ahead, and then your child will be ready to go on ahead. Naomi, you're muted.
Okay, I'm back, but the earphones were Bluetooth, so they refused to connect, but I'm getting others, they're coming. So instead
I suggest continue. When they come, you just plug them in.
Yes. So where was I?
Jackie.
Yes.
About the timetable now.
Yes.
So we discussed about that. Thank you. Hey. Hello.
Me, I can hear you. There's a suggestion that you can reduce the pixels on the video so that you don't have to use a lot of bandwidth. But those are technical things
that Naomi doesn't know how to do.
I suggest you use the earphones.
Okay. Do we have echo now?
I can hear you clearly, so I'll wait. If for all our attendants, okay. Do you have echo? If you have echo, would you text me? Then I'll feedback that to Naomi.
Okay, so now I want to go to resources. This is where inaleta kizungumkuti resources. So as I said before, kids with special needs, they like colorful things. They like things out of the box. They are not like the way you just teach other kids. And that's why I've been having an issue with teaching my clients online, because they like hands-on things. They like what they can touch, what they can see as in it's there. So resources is what you're going to invest in. The best thing is you're going to invest in these resources and they're going to take a little bit, you're going to use them for a while. And if your child improves, you can sell them or you can bless another child with the resources or another family with resources. So the most important thing is get resources so that you don't get stuck in trying to teach your child. I have lots and lots of resources. Some of them I make myself, some of them I buy, but mostly Mtumba from secondhand shops, because textbook center have them, but I usually find it's a bit challenging to use them because they're usually for, what do you call, neurotypical kids. Or I might find something and I'm like, how do I teach this? I don't know how to explain, but I don't like most of the things that are in our bookshops and all that. So I usually go online on YouTube. I watch videos on YouTube, the way Maju people are doing therapies. I usually look at educational materials on YouTube, and then I try to get my Mtumba guys to, if they find something, they call me and then they tell me, Naomi, you can, this has come in. So all my resources, except a few which I'm going to show you, I usually get from secondhand people, so, secondhand sellers. So those sellers you see, they have dolls, they have things like this. You can just go talk to them. You will find lots and lots of flashcards like this ones. All these are flashcards that I buy from second-hand places, and they're fun flashcards. There's subtraction, there's sequencing. I buy all those from second-hand people. But now I'm going to give you a review of what you need. So if I'm teaching something like number value, so number value is where a child learns. Number one represents one, two represents two objects, three represents three things. So that is number value. So if I'm teaching number value, I would have flashcards, not flashcards. I would have something like this, something laminated. And these worksheets, you get them free online, especially now this COVID time. Most people, most professionals are giving their resources for free online. You just print and laminate. Like this one, I'm teaching a child number value. They count for me 1, 2, 3, and then they circle number 3. Initially, your child doesn't know how to circle. Hold your hand and then help your child to circle. So this is number value. Another thing I can do to teach number value, so these I'm giving you ideas on teaching number value. So I like having, this is like, what do you call it? Cupcakes, pan thing, baking thing. You can use egg carton and something like that. So I've cut pieces of paper, that's number 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can use beads. You can buy the wooden ones, the ones that people use to make necklaces, the big ones. And then you can do beans, big beans. I don't know what big white beans are called. And then you can do number 1, put 1, 2, put 2 of them, 1, 2. That is number value. So in my lesson plan is number value. So I have done this, okay? I have done this. And this is that lesson I was saying of 5 minutes, what do you call it? 5 minutes number lesson. So I have done the flashcards, this one. I have done that one of egg tray or muffin tray. I can also take something like this. These are sticks, popsicle sticks. You can buy them at the game. I find them at the game or supermarkets. They're those that are used for making, I'll say ice cream, because in Kenya we call them ice cream, but they're popsicle sticks. So I would have like, take a number like this. This is number 2. Unfortunately, I can't put it down because you won't see. And then I have put 2 sticks here, and the child takes 1, 2, and puts 2 sticks. This is still my lesson of number value. So you see, I'm doing many activities that are according to my lesson on number value. So you can do so many things according to what skill you're trying to teach. So this makes it for the 5 minutes I was talking about. If I'm teaching ABC, let's say I'm teaching alphabet, I'm teaching the child to write A. So I would have join the dots. I don't know if you can see. I would have the child join the dot, that is A. That is one of the activity. I will have the child color A. I would have the child roll Play-Doh, and I have my A here, and then he places it over the A. I would have, oh, there's so many things. So like I would have this, and then this is that thing you use for packaging, for TVs and all that. And then I have my, I don't know if you can see these pins. These are those pins for maps. They're very nice for fine motor skills. So I would have this and ask the child to just place over number 1. So maybe this was A over letter A. So we are doing fine motor skills as we are learning A. So those are still activities. I don't know if you can miss it like that. So those are still activities I'm doing during my lesson. So now you can see where my 5 minutes doing an activity comes in, because I'm bringing in many different things to do during that 5 minutes. And once I'm done, I keep them away and pick something else. In between teaching, you can give now these other toys. I call them toys, distracting toys. You can give toys like this also from Mtumba people. This one you can get for 500 shillings, 1,000, depending on where you're buying it from. So I usually give my child this and then change the activity to something else. So CRT, let me switch it off. CRT, you're now moving from teaching alphabet, and then the child is patiently waiting for you to finish moving this from here to there so that you bring numbers and put here, and then, no, it's not gonna work. Give something to distract the child, something that the child loves, which I had told you before, you do not put it where the child plays with after session. This is only for therapy time. Like everything that I'm showing you here, like this ones, Kemo doesn't even get them during, like when the teacher goes, only when the teacher is there, you get. So have special things for class. So this is usually my distracting stuff. I have many of them. This is a fidgety toy. That's usually my distracting stuff also, that kids love. As I'm moving from one thing to another, I'm giving a child something to distract them as I move from one thing to another. I'm not giving them my phone. I'm not allowing them just to sit like this getting bored. I'm giving them something to distract them. So you need to get distracting toys, fidgeting toys, sensory toys that you can give when you change it from one activity to another. I've talked about the laminated worksheets. So I have lots of laminated worksheets, which I'll show you an example. Like this one, that is number value. Then I have this alphabet I Spy. This is a nice one because it's like this one is I spy 8 things that begin with the letter C. Like there is the car, and what else starts with the letter C? Let me see. Crab, clock, I don't know. So this is a game we play. I play with my kids, and then they just circle with laminate with whiteboard marker, which they just rub off. Then there's lots of that. Then I have things like this, which is different. This is orange, orange, yellow, orange, and then with circle, this is different. Circle, heart, circle, circle, this is different. So I love laminating my stuff. And then sometimes, this is now color. When I'm teaching color, we talk about green bucket, green lemon, green grapes, green, that's color. So you have to have many different things to teach one thing. one simple like skill. If I'm teaching colors, I usually have beads, flashcards. I have like 2 cups with different colors. What else do I teach with color? So many things. So you have to have resources, seriously. Then the pins I've shown you, the mark pins and the foam paper. Pegs, I love, love, love pegs. I have them here. So these are my pegs. Pegs are good with fine motor skills. I usually choose pegs according to the need of the child. For some children, this is very easy. But for those like a 2-year-old, this is good because it's easy to press it. And initially I help them press it. And I'm trying to look for something I'm going to use to show you how I do it. I can decide, this is green. I want the child to put only green colors. So I'm teaching sorting green with pegs. So we put green peke yake. I would have something else like a box. I say on this end put pink, on this end put yellow. That's pegs. So you're teaching fine motor, strengthening the hands for writing. You're teaching color. And another amazing thing I do is I use a permanent marker. This is not permanent. And write like number 1. And then here I can write number 2. You can even get the big wooden one. And then maybe here I write number 3. Oops, number 3. So I will ask the child to arrange this for me in order. So number 1, we put it there. Number 2, we put it there. Number 3, all the way to number 10. I hope you can see it. I'm just doing it haraka. The same pegs, I can do like this one, 1. And then I tell the child to put 1 bead or 1 stick or 1 anything. Number value. Remember the lesson on number value? This one you can do it like that. The same with pegs, I can do alphabets, A, and write A, B, C, D. I can do matching alphabets. What do you call it? Capital letters and small letters. So I have like that. And the child matches for me, A, capital A, and small a. So there are many things you can do with pegs. I can do, this one I'm not using a permanent so that I can just rub it. I can do C, A, T. Then I have a picture of a cat. Let me look for a picture. Let's assume this is a cat, okay? There, no. So I'm going to ask the child, this is a cat. This is a cat. I'm going to ask the child to write for me cat. C, A, T, cat. I can teach 3-letter words with pegs. So there's so many things you can do with pegs. Lots and lots of things. You can even funga kamba from akakona to akakona and you anika pegs. You get. So there's so many things you can do with pegs. Google using pegs in teaching preschools or in teaching fine motor skills, and then you'll get ideas about pegs. So pegs are important. There are wooden ones, which I like because when you write, it doesn't trap. Make sure you use the ones the strength mtoto anaweza shika. Don't buy them a big ones and your child's hand is tiny. So use the big ones. The next, I talked about popsicle sticks. Popsicle sticks. The ones niliwaonyesha zinakuanga where there is party things in supermarkets. This one also, the best thing about it also, I can write number 1 there. Number 1. I can write 2, and then we do arranging them. We can do maths with this. We can do color sorting with this, especially if you get the ones that are colored. The game sort, they have the colored ones, and they're very affordable. I think it's 100 or 200 shillings a bunch. Then there's the magnetic numbers and letters. Those you get at the supermarket. I don't know if they can reach them. Your teacher will keep on disappearing now and then. So here are they. And then I like the magnetic numbers because It's just a kawaida baking tray, and I can just oh, these are not the magnetic ones. I don't know where the magnetic. These are the threading ones. They have holes you thread, and then it's fine motor skills. So there's usually like this that are magnetic. I don't know where I've put mine, but I want to give you an example with these ones. These are still magnetic letters. So I like them because you just put on the tray like that. And then you can do ABC, you can do spelling the words, like you have the picture of a cat and then they spell for you the cat. I have a lot of this, but you have the ones at the supermarket. I don't know where mine are. At the supermarket, that you can buy a bunch and then you use them. They look like this, kabisa, but they're magnetic. Actually, this one is here. So if you check in any supermarket, you're going to get them. Here is one of them magnetic. Kawaida baking tray, you just use it. I like this because you don't have to go to the fridge to do these magnetic things. You can just use the baking tray. Then the other thing is beads. Beads, you can teach number value, you can teach color sorting, you can teach patterns. So when I'm doing beads with my kids, especially the ones that are older, and they've done beading and it's become boring. I don't like the way kids nowadays are, beads are bead. It becomes so boring for the kids. So this one is for a child who is very, the fine motor skills are not developed at all. They're very big. And the more a child continues becoming good with the big ones, you go reducing the size of the beads. So, and also when it comes to now communication, receptive and expressive skill, don't leave the child with the beads and then just like to bead. Start saying, put the pink or purple one, and then you put. Put the red one, and then you put. You get, you're making it creative and a learning process. Put the orange one, and then the child picks and put the orange. You're teaching colors. Then you can do patterns. Put two red ones. Two red ones, you read. Put two blue ones. Two blue ones, you read. And that is, you're teaching also number value. So you can be creative in doing the bead work, not just leaving the child to do the beading. It becomes very, very boring and tiring for them to do that. The same with the pins, the thumb pins I was talking about. I see where do I get the big beads. Those ones are mtumba, it's not easy to get those ones, but I think you can get something similar at House of Leather, but it's not like that exactly, but you have them at House of Leather. So these pins also you can teach color. So I usually tell a child, number one, to be green only, and then the child puts green. Number two, to be red, and then the child puts red. So be creative in teaching these things. The next one is chalkboard. Have a chalkboard. If you can buy at House of Leather, you can also buy, there's that piece of sticking wallboard thing, blackboard. You buy it as a roll and stick it on the wall. I think it's 1,200. If you Google on Facebook, not Google, if you search on Facebook, you'll find people selling it here in Nairobi. Whiteboard marker, I love them with this one. And then, so get those ones. Color pencils. When I'm teaching my kids to write, I do not force them to use a pencil. It will take a while for me to decide, sasa tuko tayari for pencils. This is what we use, whiteboard marker and this. Reason being, a pencil is very faint. Haileti shangwe mtoto kuona akiandika na pencil on a book. So I prefer using this because it's thick. It looks cute. I even use different colors like this. And there's the green one and there's the blue one. There's also washable markers that you can buy from the supermarket that are Crayola. You can use them. And those ones, mostly you can use them when you're coming to do your, what do you call them? Like I have this worksheet. And then the child is supposed to say, to read, I see, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then write for me 7. What are they? Pencils. So for a child who doesn't know how to write, they can do a picture of a pencil. It comes in a separate menu. You put picture of a pencil, picture of a number 7. So I like writing on this a lot with my kids because I just rub it off. Now, the other thing, if you don't have a laminating paper, before I forget, you see these pouches, they come in a supermarket, you buy them. They're paper pouches, I think that's what they're called. I've just put my worksheets inside, write on them. They come in a pack of 100. At supermarket, you'll find them. And you can even put in a file or display book. So laminating can be kind of expensive because you have to buy the laminating machine and the laminating paper. At the moment, you can just decide to use these pouches in all supermarkets. What else?
Naomi, I have a
pencil.
Naomi, I have a hack for
Yes.
Laminating. One of the things that I used to do before I had a laminator was just take the laminating pouches that you'd buy kawaida, then put your paper, then use a warm iron, but put a tea towel on top. So if you, or like
I used to use, I used to use Gazzetti when I didn't have a laminating paper.
So use put the laminating paper, put newspaper on top, and then iron on top. Then the laminating paper, because it has glue in between, will stick. So I just wanted to mention that because I know economically people might not be able to afford a laminator.
Yeah. The other thing is, so I'm still on resources. If you decide to buy a pencil, when Kemo started writing, we bought those pencils for artists, the ones that have a thick lead inside. So CEHB, kawaida, I would go to the center and look for the drawing pens, the ones that are thick, the lead is thick inside. So Kemo used to write with that for a while, mpaka saa zile akaanza kufikiria pen vizuri, so that we moved now from that pencil to the kawaida pencil. He now uses pens. So yeah, then storybooks. Storybooks are very, very important. When I'm buying my storybooks, if it's a young child, I get a book, what do they call? These are clock books, and then it has some noise. You can't hear the noise. Okay, it has some sensory noise, and then like this is a puppy waking up to play. The puppy is going to wake up, remove the baby. And I'll yawn when I'm telling the story. And then it's time to go, okay. And then it's going to play with his friends. What are his friends? The rabbit, the squirrel, and they have a red dog. I don't read what the story says. I just come up with my own words. Then this dog is saying, peekaboo, peekaboo. And it's so fun, kids laugh about it. And then they're eating food, look. The rabbit is eating a carrot. We just talk about the pictures. And then this is where also the receptive and expressive skills come. Where's the dog? I hold the hands and the point of the dog. Where's the squirrel? There's the squirrel. Where's the house? There's the house. A red house. A child who has a little bit of communication, I usually ask them, what do you see? And then they describe what they see in the picture. I'm like, what do you see? I see a dog. What do you see? I see a squirrel. What do you see? I see a house. So all the way to reading books. I like books also with funny stuff like this. This has a bone inside a thingy. This one you get in Tubabado, where they sell, what are they called? The dollies. I buy them at the Koma where the dollies. At the same time, I get this, I got this. I have lots of puppets. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So I have lots of puppets. I hear the echo is back. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit. So the echo is back, so I don't know what's going on. But keep going.
Okay, so look for fun things you can do with your child. See, fun things. Get these books from secondhand places. Some resourceful parents make these books themselves. I know I can't be able to make this book, but kids love such things. This is fun. And then we have a net there, you remove the fish. we count the fish and then we put it back. Then we have this, we count the circles and then see. Oh, she means to me as well. Okay. Yeah, so try to get books like this for the little babies. Once the kids become learn more, this is my book on animals. So I like, oh, I can't see myself. I like books with this fluffy things where you open, and then we open with here, and then we open. So try to look for books that are like this, farm animals, kids love this. This one is teaching, counting, shapes, animals, sounds, colors, and opposites. So every time can I try to change my internet, please? And then we see how it goes, if it's going to be stuck.
What do you mean? Do you want to change? What do you want to do?
I want to change from Wi-Fi to my phone.
Okay, so is this where you
see if it's going to.
So can you just first, before you go, announce? Yes. So now, because we're midway, can you tell, before you go, can you tell us what is the first, what's the first thing we're going to raffle, so that when you're away, I can raffle 2 things so that we don't run out of time as well on that.
Okay. So, okay. When I was to talk about modeling clay, and it's hung. People can see me.
Yeah, it's dragging, but I guess, okay, so we're giving away modeling, so I can give away modeling clay and 1 book. So you change your band.
Not modeling clay. These are called those cuttings for
or like the cutters. So the plastic cutters that you use for modeling. Yes. So the parent, okay, fine. You can change your bandwidth. Change your So good people. So now as Naomi like situates herself. So I don't know whether you know what the like the Play-Doh cutters are. It's like cookie dough cutters. So if you're making cookies, you at home, or if you're making mandazi at home, you'd use a cutter to cut your. I have to remember I'm not only talking to Kenyans. So you'd use a cup or a glass to cut the dough, right? Once you roll it to cut the dough. So the same thing with Play-Doh, which we use to model, or modeling clay as it's called. So we are giving away a set of that, and we're giving away 1 book. So I have all the attendants in the glass jar. Like I said, we have exciting giveaways. So I don't know who's gonna come up. And then the thing that I would ask is, if you do come up, that you contact me, and I will make sure that then we can figure out how you can pick up your gift. So first person is, this is for the modeling clay cutters. So I have Alice Mundia. For sure you can donate this one. No, we say no to Alice. I thought maybe she'd pick a book, but anyway. So I'm gonna select another one because I know Alice would be happy to give them away. Her child is way past that stage. So my second person, it's good to have friends online as well. So I've got Sharon Jenga. So Sharon, you are logged on to this webinar. Please contact me, and we will figure out how the cutters get to you. So the second person I'm going to, and Alice, I've put your name back on the whatever, because you might get a book. But for the cookie cutters, I was like, no. So, so I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. So the person who gets 1 copy of the book is Jacinta Nyanchama. So Jacinta contacts me for the book, and Sharon Jenga contacts me for the Play-Doh cutters. Naomi, we are back with you.
Yeah, Naomi? I tried changing, it doesn't help. That's even worse. Hey.
I can see you and I can hear you.
I tried changing. Yeah, it doesn't help. The other Safaricom is even worse, so it's okay.
Keep going.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay, so the Play-Doh cutter. So as we were discussing that, Play-Doh is also important. You can get Play-Doh anywhere from supermarkets. I don't like the Play-Doh we have because they are too hard to use. I prefer I prefer making my own Play-Doh. So if you Google, you will find, like I was making today, some Play-Doh. This is what I made today. Uh, and my daughter loved it. It's with hair conditioner and cornstarch. You can also make with salt and flour and food color. So it's better to make your own Play-Doh because it has easy consistency. Most of what I've bought from supermarkets and bookshops, I'm not even able to roll it myself. So imagine a baby, asking a baby to roll it, or asking a 3-year-old, 4-year-old to roll it. So Google how to make your own Play-Doh and make it. Play-Doh is the same as plasticine, the way they call it plasticine. I was talking about storybooks. So also when you're buying storybooks, think about what am I going to teach with storybook. So when I'm getting, let me look for another book. When I'm getting a book, I like also getting books of songs. This is Humpty Dumpty, which my son and every child I teach loves. Like this one, this is for numbers. I bought this at Naivas, where they sell their books and they sell it for 200. So it has 1, 2, and we talk with the child 2 and trace with a finger, and then we count 1, 2, and then for a child who is more language developed, I'm like, we count the flowers 1, 2, 3. How many flowers do you see? Even if the child is non-verbal, it's okay to read books. Okay, so it's you talking, but the child will know what a cow is because you've been teaching cow, and then you'll just like point at the cow. No, there's no cow here. Point at the snake, and they point at the snake, even if they are non-verbal. How many snakes are there? They can point 1, 2, and you have flashcards laid there. No, they are counting non-verbally. They're just, and then you have flashcards like 1, 2, 3, and then they pick 2 and show you 2. They're non-verbal, but they're showing you, I understand what you're saying, what you're asking. So even if I'm saying a child says, even a non-verbal child you can read with. So don't limit yourself to like, my child doesn't talk, my child doesn't understand. Do it, they will understand, but and then when the communication comes, when the speech comes, it will be easier for them because they've been hearing you saying this over and over again, the numbers and all that. Musical toys. I have musical toys, still Mtumba stuff, but I think you can get at the shop. I like xylophones. This is not a xylophone, but I like this one because it's funny. So I would play anything and just, Mary had a little lamb, and then the child I give, do it, and then I'm singing, even if they're verbal, non-verbal, sing for them. I have this, when I was telling you, you start with song initially, music. So I have these shakers. So if I say there was a Famoheda Dogendingo was his name, I-N-G-O, I-N-G-O, it comes to a point a child learns and is like, that's for B-I-N-G-O. They start doing the tune. And when a child is doing the tune in their head, you know, speech is coming. I have shakers, we sing. So when I say music, if you don't have this thing, take a sufuria, take a cooking spoon, twanga them, take a plate, do anything. Tap on the table, they're just going to enjoy it.
You'd gone static a little bit. Okay, you're back.
Oh, where do I start again? Hello? Jackie?
Naomi, I think we've lost you. Are you here? Say something.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Go on.
Then what else haven't I talked about? Okay, still, when you, there are things also you buy that you think don't make any sense. This ones, they're those tiny little animals that you find still Mutumba places. So I usually take them for 20 shillings. They call it fagilia. because most people are not interested in them. So when I'm singing Old MacDonald had a farm, and then, and on his farm he had I'd show the child a cow, and then they say cow, and then we continue singing. So try to get the life, these things, they're fun to have with. So you can even match a cow with a picture of a cow. I have lots of this. I usually just, when I'm passing where people wamemwaga vitu za mtumba, I just check if I can see animals, cars, anything I can get. What else? Flashcards. Either you make your own flashcards or you buy flashcards. Long time ago, before I discovered this mtumba things, I used to make my own flashcards. I'd take pictures of things that are around in the house and print them and then laminate them and use them. When you're getting flashcards, get flashcards of color, numbers, shapes, alphabet, animals, utensils, body parts. If your child is at the level where you're teaching action verbs, like eating, drinking, sitting, standing, sleeping, do flashcards of that, okay? And then those are what you're going to teach with. With the nonverbal kids, tell them point at net. So I have 2 flashcards. Point at net, they point at it. It shows you, even if they're nonverbal, they know what a net is. Point at tree, they point at tree. It teaches you, even if they're nonverbal, they know what a tree is. The next thing, I think I've finished with all that. Just Google about, get manila papers, get paint and brushes, because painting is really good for the kids. You can paint numbers, you can paint mix colors, you can paint 1, 2, 3. Get distracting toys, as I was telling you. This one we usually sing, rain, rain, go away, different things. Every time I see something, I usually ask myself, how can I use this to teach my kids and all that? Okay, next. Okay, I need to drink water now. I'm almost through. I'll come to the next point. Now the resources, I think I'm through with that. There's lots of more that you can use, but that is in a nutshell what you can get. So the last part I would like to discuss about is just to give you pointers. When you're teaching your child, try to choose what is relevant to them, what they're interested in. So like my son, when he was 3 years old, there is no way you would tell Kemo to color an apple. At teacher amechukua exercise book, aka kadogo amechora a big apple, ameandika hapo for apple, Kemo achore. He would do it because it's not relating to him. You get? So the only way he would do coloring if it's cartoon worksheets. So I, as a parent, I used to look for Tom and Jerry coloring worksheets, Tom and Jerry ABC worksheets, Disney Channel, Disney worksheets. And that's what I used to print and take to school for him to color. If it's addition, he would only add if what you're asking him to add is cartoon-like. And that's the way he learned his mathematics, his ABCs. So teach your child according to what they like. Try to observe what are they watching. Kama anapenda Jim Jam or Billy and Bam Bam, go Google Billy and Bam Bam worksheets and work with it. Kama anapenda My Little Pony, Google My Little Pony worksheets, free downloadable, and work with that. Be very patient. See exam unapea mtoto. Don't be like, what is this? And you've never told a child what is this. You're going to frustrate the child and you're going to frustrate yourself. It's not an exam. Don't test your child. Tree, and then later you come. What is this? If they don't say tree, say it, tree. Don't force them to say it. Say it, tree. This is where even reinforcement comes in and it helps you. But don't make it an exam. Ati mtoto akikuona anajua tu ni flashcards. What is this? What is this. No, it is not. This I told you yesterday, it's not going to work. You're going to be frustrated, he's going to be frustrated. Also, don't do flashcards all the time. That's why you need resources. You're going to put your child off flashcards. You can't do flashcards of A, B, C, D the whole day or numbers the whole day. That's boring. So mix up your activities. It's not an exam. You're teaching your child. So let your child, if he doesn't say it for himself. If he doesn't point it for him. Give him a clue. Point it for him, but don't make it like when I see my mom, I know, and then she's going to get upset. I'm saying mom, but when I see my mom and dad, they're going to be upset because I'm not in it. It will become frustrating for both of you. The other thing is read your child's mood. If you see they're getting frustrated, ask yourself, is it too difficult what you're teaching your child? Can you go back to something easy and reintroduce again? Go back and reintroduce again. Change the way you're teaching. There's a child I was trying to try to make the child talk. Yeah. And he wasn't saying it. Kumbe, this child was afraid, not afraid, shy of his voice, afraid of his voice. I don't get it. Then I got something. This is a mic. It has echo. The moment I did, and then he did, and then he did it himself, he had the echo. He started, the only time he talked to me is through this thing. So if I want him to say one, if I don't have this one, sorry, see corona. If I don't have this one, he doesn't talk. You get? So try to learn your child mood. You're the parent. Try to just understand your child and see how you can help. I'm almost finished. Remember, have plan B, C, D, and all that. Take a break if you feel like you're getting agitated, you're getting frustrated. Give a toy and walk away. Take yourself time out, but don't frustrate your child as you're trying to teach. There are times I even tell a parent, I'm doing 20 minutes or 1 hour today because tumekosana. I walk away. Even with chemo, I walk away when I'm trying to teach him. If it comes to a point hatusikizani. Kids are human beings also. Kids with special needs are human beings also. They are prone to mood swings. They are prone to depression, have been depressed. They are prone to waking up on the wrong side of the bed. So don't force it on them if it is they have a problem. But if it's kutoroka kazi, lazima fanye kazi. Yeah. So the other thing is take a cup of tea, take Red Bull, take wine, take a break, sip something. When you're feeling like you've had enough, just relax. I don't know how to put it. Sip something, that's what I'm going to say. Then encourage your son all the time, your daughter all the time. Awesome, very good, good job. I'm so happy, I'm so happy. And show your face. So even if he does something very little, yay! So have that excitement as you're doing the work you're doing. Another key thing, give your child a space to respond. So if you're asking your child, I'm looking for something I can show you. If you're asking a child, what's this? Oh, no, that is not Kenyan. Yeah. If you're asking a child, what's this? Give them a chance to respond. Some kids, process things slowly. So kama kuna mtoto huwa anafunza, if you don't, I usually have to remember to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in my head, because he usually takes his time to answer, and it's always the correct answer. So pause and give your child a chance to respond. Count 1 to 5 in your head. If they don't respond, tell them what it is. Because this child, many people think he doesn't talk, but he doesn't talk because he's not given that chance to process. Unataka hii, and then kama utaki shika hii ingine, but this is what he wanted. Only you need to wait for him to say yes. So give your child a chance to respond, pause and wait. If they don't respond, help them to respond. Another key thing, give your child opportunities to communicate, especially the nonverbal ones. So don't make it like you're meeting all their needs. Kemo anakuanga zile, he can talk. But since he knows if he's going to be given, he is not going to say that word because we are meeting his needs. So nowadays we are like, what is it you want? Say what it is. And he's like, laptop. And I'm saying, because we are meeting their needs without them talking, they have no reason to talk. But just decide you're not going to give that child water until they say water. You will find that child saying water because they actually need this water, but because mtoto analia anataka nini, tumpe maji, tumpe juice, tumpe nini, si amelia tu akapewa kila kitu. You have to give them create opportunities for them to talk. Put the toys up there where they have to bring you and take the toys. So I usually go to some places and I find all the toys in the sitting room. Huyu mtoto hatai kuongelesha kwa sababu ana kila kitu anahitaji hapo. Hata chakula imewekwa kwa meza. Is there a need to talk? All my needs are being met. Put away the toys and teach him. This is called a cube. And you're like, I have a picture of a cube. Cube, you want a cube. Even if he doesn't respond, give the cube, but tell him he has to say cube. As in create opportunities for child to talk. Make funny mistakes for the child to tell you you've made a mistake. Sometimes I tell the child, it's time to go out, and then I put two different shoes, a red one and a blue one. And then I pause, because I want the child to be able to tell me not the same. And no, not the pink one. Or you want the pink shoes, and then we pick the pink shoes and wear. So try to make mistakes so that the child can be able to communicate to you that we are making, this is the way it's supposed to do. When you're singing a song like, there was a farmer, twinkle, twinkle, little cow, and the child is like, star. So create mistakes for the child to correct you and to be able to communicate with you. Also, when you're singing songs to a non-verbal child or a child who anaimbanga akiwa peke yake lakini haimbi ukiwa na yeye, start a song, twinkle, twinkle, little. Let the child respond, star. If he doesn't respond, continue. How I wonder what you are up above the world. So give the child a chance to say the word. That's how you teach a child to communicate, to talk, speech inakujanga. That's a whole different story altogether, but I'm just giving you pointers. Choose toys that the child needs your help to operate. Like, I love this one because most of the time, mtoto ajuangi, this is where we switch it on so that we can press here. Hi, and I'm Thomas. It sings. So I would give a child this, and then they will have to look at me, and I'll say, open. And then I would open it for them. But I don't show them how I'm opening because I don't want them to know how to open. I want to create another opportunity for the child to come, show me, open this. So the moment you show that's why it's open, shika toto, this is why it's open. Will that child ever come back to you again? No, because they know how to use it. So encourage, don't show the child everything to do so that you encourage them to come back to you and talk to you. One last point, Jackie, when you're teaching your child and they're moody and all that, remember I don't know where it is. Remember the timetable that I had made here. So like it was 1, music, 2, numbers. So, and then there's a way to tick what you've done. So you might find you might bring numbers and the child is not interested. This is where I usually have something called a choice board. I hope I'm going to get it, my choice. Let me look for it. So you try to give the child a choice between, and I know I won't find it because I'm looking for it now. Okay, it is. I usually have this with me. It's a choice board. So I put 2 activities here. So I'm like, now we are still using our assuming this is maths and this is English. I usually say, which one do you want? Or I even put them aside and I tell, which one do you want to start with? The child picks maths and then picks English. I had decided to do English and then maths, but I'm giving the child a chance to make a choice to what they want. Or I can have two worksheets. Let me go back to worksheets. So I can have two worksheets. So there's this one of matching cloth to what it is, and there's this one doesn't make sense. Let me look for something else. I want something that you can understand what I'm talking about. So I have this one, which is English, and this one, which is maths. This one is fill in the numbers, and I have flashcards where the child puts. So I'm like, which one do you want to do first? The one that the child reaches for is what the child does. This is very good because you're playing with the child's psychology. Unataka afanye hesabu ama English, but unampatia choice achague ni nini anataka kwanza. So atachagua maths, at the end of the day, he's done what you wanted him to do. It's the same thing as asking a child, do you want chipo or you want chapati? At the end of the day, the child is going to eat, but you're giving a choice for the child to choose. What will the child do at that point? The last thing is Google a lot. If you have an idea in your head, I want to teach alphabet recognition. My child has no, even if I show this is A, he doesn't, I ask him, give me A, he doesn't get it. Google, teaching alphabet recognition ideas. Then go to Pinterest. Pinterest usually brings so many things, and you don't even have to open those things. They're just pictures you look and you get ideas. So Pinterest, Google a lot. Right now, because of COVID, there is free worksheets all over Facebook. Go to Facebook and Google free worksheets. You are not Google, search. You're going to have lots of them. And then you just choose which one are you going to use. So there's no excuse for you to say, I can't do this and this and this. You just need to plan, get resources, and just go ahead and teach. And you don't have to be trained to do it. I think that's all.
Awesome. We have, let me start with the last question. One of the, and then maybe we can do like, it's sort of like quick fire, because I know we want to have another session with you so that you can maybe go into in-depth with some of these things. One of the questions that's been asked is, what is the sufficient time and the parent put in how many hours should you teach your child every day?
I had talked about that before. Do 10, Kemo is here. Kemo, come say hi.
Hi.
Come say hi. So that he can go away. Say hi.
Hi.
Say, how are you?
Hi, Kemo.
Say hi. Look there. Say hi. Okay, bye-bye. Go. That's my number one boy. Anyway, so I had talked about just a minute. Let me see. No, no bubbles. He wants this and he's going to spoil it. No, no bubbles.
Bubbles.
Okay, the boy is here. No bubbles. Tomorrow, bubbles.
Tomorrow, bubbles.
Yes, bubbles. So I had talked about 10 minutes each. Like now, you wake up in the morning, let's say around 9, do 10 minutes. Depending on the needs of your child, you can do 10 to 30 minutes. Then 10, do 10 minutes. 11, do 10 minutes. 12, do 10 minutes, like that. If your child is able to handle that. You can even start with 5 minutes depending, because you're beginning. For a child like Kemo, who is 11 years old, he has his lessons from 9 to 3. And it's not academics only. He has numbers, maths, English, science, computer, activities of daily living. He makes eggs. He goes for a walk. He goes to the shop. They go discussing about animal poop, cow poop, meaning as in make your lessons like Oh, I didn't talk about going outside. Also go outside and just, like if you're talking about color, go outside, pick blue flower, green leaves and all that. So also in your plan, have a plan to go outside, have a plan for swinging, bouncing if you have it. But if you give yourself 10 minutes every hour, you can do like, and we have like 12 waking hours. That is 120 minutes of worth of lessons. So it's just for you to plan for yourself. The timeline I gave you was 30 minutes with all those activities.
Okay. So there was also a question on articulation issues. So my child does not articulate most of the words. What can I do?
Most of the time, I don't try to force articulation as such. I don't know how to put it. I have a book I usually follow on articulation, but then I won't try to force a child to articulate. I usually, like, if a child is saying tat instead of cat, I correct once or twice and we move on. And then every time we come to the word cat, I will be like, cat, and then point at my mouth so that the child sees my mouth and says cat, and a cat, you get. But then if you keep on, I don't know if I can move because of the light. Keep on correcting. Am I clear?
Now you're clear, but yeah, now you're clear.
If you keep on correcting your child about articulation, they start getting a negative attitude. I think where I've moved the internet is important. They start having a negative attitude towards pronouncing words and articulation. So if you're correcting it kidogo kidogo too, don't put an emphasis on it. You will find your child starting to shy about it, about communicating. Because the child will be like, every time naenda kuambia mami kitu lazima ni correct. And it becomes boring, it becomes frustrating. So if you're correcting articulation, just do it once or twice. If a child, I want water, and then they come, I want wawa. You just like say it, I want water, and then you give the water. But don't force articulation, please.
Okay. So yeah. One last question before we do the final raffle. So we had like, it's the same question but asked differently, and it's on low attention span. So what kind of activities can I do to enhance attention span? I know you've talked about that. I mean, I could even say you talked about bidding. You talked about, but yeah.
So when it comes to attention span, it's, I have lots of resources that I use, but it's usually catch the attention of the child with what they love. Okay, if they love singing, let the attention, my bandwidth is low, it's telling me it's low, but you can hear me?
Yes.
Catch the attention of the child with what they love. Like I would go get a special toy for this special child because, okay, before I do therapy for a child, the one thing I ask the parents, what does your child like? What do they watch on TV? And then I look for resources that the child likes. Does your child like spinning objects? Then I'll get something spinning. Like there's a child who loves this because it spins. Just because it spins, they love it. The reason I bought this is because there's a child who loves the spinning also. Because this is spinning. It goes around and it's spinning. So if you learn your child likes and dislikes, then you can get their attention. But begin with initially 2 minutes of sitting down and doing something. After 1 minute, then go on increasing it according to the activities you're bringing in. If your activities are fun, your child's attention will be good. Most of the kids I go to do therapy with, the moment they see me, they sit down on the carpet where we do therapy because they know teacher wa vitu mzuri amekuja. So, but if you show a child flashcards all the time, the attention span is not going to be there. You get? Yeah. So learn your child what they like and all that and use it to get their attention span. Start with 1 minute, 2 minutes, go expanding on the time.
Awesome. Thank you, Naomi. We've learned so much, but we want you to come back because we cannot, I know this is not enough. I know people will have more questions after this than they were able to ask during the webinar. But one of the things that I would like to urge all those who are watching is make sure you practice what Naomi is teaching. Try it. Try it so that you can say it doesn't work, but try it. Because if you don't try, you'll continue giving excuses as to why your child is not learning. And I am a firm believer that all children can learn. It doesn't matter the level of attention they're at. It doesn't matter their ability level, what disability, all children can learn. So we've learned so many things this evening. Pick one and start there. Pick whatever is the lowest hanging fruit. Don't go and start saying, I can't teach because I don't have a laminator or I cannot afford laminating sheets. Start with whatever. Pegs are easy to use. We hang clothes with them all the time. And I had Naomi give examples of that. We have so many things that she's mentioned this evening that you can use as just in your home environment to teach people, to teach your children. Use cups. Tell your child to count for you cups. Whatever works, but get that learning starting. So we have, what were we were also going to give away flashcards, Naomi?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Now the flashcards is a lot, as in lots and lots and lots and lots. The tricky thing about these flashcards is that they are different level. They are not the same. This is multiplication, addition, color, subtraction, shapes and sizes. So I don't know how to give this.
So what
goes together, it's a lot.
So what we can do is this. We will raffle, and then for our attendees, for those who are attending, we can ask, we've got this. So it will be on, I guess, a first come, first answer part where we say, we can text our attendees and say, we've got this, choose one. But for the time being, we can at least raffle and pick up names and say, so-and-so has won a raffle, and they can get in touch with us. So we are giving away how many packets of whatever, of the flashcards?
About 20.
So here's my
20
suggestion.
packets.
Here's my suggestion, Naomi. I want people to come back to another webinar. We're not going to give away 20 packets of, of whatever. We want to give them away next time. So I'm going to pick 6 attendees. Naomi will do for us again 2 other lessons so that we have other things to give away to people. We don't want to exhaust that as well. So I'm gonna pick 6 people from here for the flashcards, and then we'll give away 2 more books. I think that's good gifts. And then we will do another session with Naomi to give away the other flashcards. So this means you've got to come back. You've got to come back for another lesson. You've got to come back so that we catch up on how you're doing. And in between that, would you send us just an email on info@adat.org and tell us what you would like Naomi to focus on next time. And maybe we can pick one thing, do a 1-hour class, and then that way then we learn something in depth and be able to give away some more flashcards. So I've got my bowl. I'm picking 6 people for the flashcards. So I don't know who you are, but I mean, if you're my friend and you're logged on, I will give away your gift. Roho Safi. So Nicholas Macau. So Nicholas Macau for flashcards. I'm writing so that I remember who whatever. So you've won yourself flashcards. I've got Margaret Richu flashcards. Those are 2, so that I don't forget. I've got, this is interesting, this is exciting, I like gifts. I've got Eunice Vondebeck. Okay, I don't want to mention your name badly, but it's VODE and then Beke. So yeah, flashcards. Naomi, we are so excited. This is good. I like gifts. I like gifts and I like being able to give them. So here's the thing. So I've picked my friend Christine Mutena. Christine, nakurudisha kwa bowl. Maybe you might get a book. I love you, Mama. Nimekurudisha kwa bowl. And instead, I've picked Brian Omondi flashcards. And if any of my winners want to donate back their gift, feel free to tell me that you'd like, yeah. So imagine I'm picking Alice Mundia again for flashcards. I'm saying, no, Alice,
She's
you're my
blessed.
friend. You're blessed. How is your name coming up so many times? I've got Gavin Oyas for flashcards. I think, how many flashcards are those I've given out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more flashcards. So mix them up, mix them up. Pick Mercy Wambu. So you've got flashcards as well. So we're giving away 2 books. Remember, the book is Raise Him Up, and it's available 1,200. That's the value of the gift you're getting. You can buy it by getting in touch with me or by going onto Amazon and picking up a copy for yourself. So for the book, we have 2 more winners. So mix the things in my bowl. And I have, imagine we have to give Alice a book. This is the 3rd time that she's picked.
Yeah.
So Alice, you get a book. Why not? That's the 3rd time your name has come up. So you must be on your knees praying that you get a gift. I don't know. So for the 2nd book, I'm mixing them up just so that I'm not seen to be pendelearing. And the other winner of the book is Grace Wamboi. So great, yeah. So for a book. So here's the thing. I can see so many people. There are people who must have been like praying for Alice to win something because, you know, 3rd time. So here's the thing. If I've mentioned your book, I would like to be able to shout out my phone number online, but this video is going to be up for a time. Would you just make a comment on our Facebook page, that's ADAT Foundation, and tell me, and just get in touch, with us. So I'll just repeat the winners this evening again. So we had Jacinta Nyanchama for the cookie cutters. We had Sharon Jenga for, Sharon Jenga was the Play-Doh cutters, and Jacinta Nyanchama was 1 copy of the book. We've got Margaret Richu for flashcards. We've got Gavin Oyas for flashcards. We've got Eunice with a V name, long one, for flashcards. We've got Brian Omonti for flashcards. We've got Nicholas Macau for flashcards. We've got Grace Wamboi for a book. We have Alice Mundia for a book. And we have finally Mercy Wambu for a book. So go onto our Facebook page. If you've had your name, let me know that you want something, and I will make sure that this gets to you. We also have support groups for parents of kids with disabilities. Get in touch with us, message us, inbox us on our Facebook page. We will put you in touch with support systems that help you, where we as parents help each other every day. So if there's anything you've heard Naomi talk about and you think that it's going to be difficult to get, inbox us. We'll put you in touch with a network of parents who are helping each other do better by their kids. So on behalf of every single parent and every single person who has listened tonight, Naomi, receive our thanks. Thank you very much for giving up your time this evening, for being with us, for the giveaways. God bless you. And let's do this again. All right. So have a good evening, everyone. Yep. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, I don't know whether you want to say something before we go, Naomi. You're just waving goodbye.
I've talked for 2 hours.
Sawa. All right, yeah, then, everybody.
Just saying, yeah, just saying somebody to start somewhere. Yes. Start somewhere, do something. There's no excuse to not do something. Yeah, that's all.
All right. Fantastic. Enjoy your weekend, and we will see you in the next session. Look out on our Facebook page for what's coming up next week. We have stuff happening, and who knows, one of those might be Naomi recovers from today's session. She might just tell us she'll be back next week. So look out for those sessions, and have a good weekend. Bye.
Okay, bye.